Hey guys!
Hi everyone!
Welcome to our channel, Rick Rye Vlog It. Today what we're going to do is we're going to sit down and talk about our top 5 favourite houses each. But we were literally just about to sit down and do that when the new Horror Nights speculation map came out from HHN Nightmares.
Yeah, exactly that. So I just checked my phone and I saw that it had been posted. I was like, Dane! We need to do another video.
All hands on deck! Yeah, so we'll talk about that today instead.
Yeah, so this is the most up-to-date rumour and speculation map. So that is as of Thursday the 18th of June.
Yeah, and just in case anyone doesn't know, we'll be going off the speculation map 3.0, which has been released by a group called Horror Night Nightmares. This map is something that the entire Horror Nights fandom kind of look to as a very good indication of what will be there.
Yeah, they're normally pretty spot on with their predictions.
We actually did a video on the speculation map 2.0. And we'll link that video in the description down below. So what we're going to do first, I think, is we're going to talk about the differences between the two maps.
Yeah, we'll start with what's changed. Seems like the best place to start.
Yeah, and then after that we'll continue to go through the map and give our thoughts on stuff. And without any further ado, let's get started.
So the first change we've noticed is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In our previous video, at that point, we had heard there was talks of it being an IP at the event this year, but it's now been added to the map. So yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre seems pretty likely now.
I'm very excited for a Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. I think it was on quite recently, and I think there are a few people out there which are kind of saying, no, we've had it so recently, why are we having it again? And I think that's fair, but like I guess we're lucky enough to have never been to that house before, so for us it's an entirely new experience.
Yeah, I missed 2016. Dane wasn't going at that point, so we've not experienced Texas Chainsaw, so we'll be seeing it with fresh eyes. So we don't really have anything to compare it against, apart from previous videos, which we will be watching.
Yeah, in particular, some of the scenes I'm excited to see. I want to see the dinner table scene. He's just dressed as a woman, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly whose it is.
Yeah, Leatherface is dressed as a woman in that scene, and yeah, there's just tons of different scenes in that show, which I'm super stoked to see.
Plenty of chainsaws.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty left over actually, right?
Yeah, they'll have a lifetime supply at Universal, I think, from this event.
Super excited to see that one.
I think it'll be good fun. From what people have said about the previous one, there was a part where you'd left the actual house, you're walking quite far away from the house, and then someone jumps out with a chainsaw. So if they did something like that, I'd like it.
Yeah, get you when you're at your most vulnerable, eh?
Yeah, but then I'll be expecting it now, and so will you.
Sorry guys. Okay, so two of the additions that have come onto this map, one of them is called Horror Nights Icons, and another one of them is called Anniversary House. We kind of figured there was going to be an Icons house.
Yeah, we're expecting it, or an Anniversary House, which would be incorporated with the Icons. So I was expecting just one out of the two. So we were trying to think of the differences between it as well. I don't know if it's going to be location based for the Anniversary House, we were saying possibly maybe the best of the houses from the whole event, the 30 years so far, something like a mashup, a bit like Slaughter Cinema, but with the best houses that they've ever done.
That would be incredible. Like if I could just go through just one set of each of I only started going since Horror Nights 28, but I love the event so much that I've managed to catch up a little bit on kind of the past best houses and different kind of infamous houses, if you like, and to be able to walk through one scene out of a ton of the cherry-picked best houses that they've ever had, or most iconic houses that they've ever had, that's something that I'm super excited about.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. That's definitely one that would be top of my list to start with. I imagine the queue would be pretty big for that one.
Yeah, even Slaughter Cinema, which was just like it was like a bunch of B movies that were standalone ideas that didn't quite make the cut. And now this is going to be that same idea, except with the best houses that I've ever been at Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah.
I think that would
so
work
good.
well. I mean, we still don't know exactly what they're going to be doing with that, but that's just one of our thoughts on that house, isn't it?
Yeah, and the Icons house kind of speaks for itself, right?
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be all their icons. So Jack, Chance, the usher, director, possibly ones that they didn't get to use. So maybe Eddie and Cindy might be there. They never really got their moment because of the events of the world at the time when they were scheduled to be there. So possibly them as well, alongside maybe the Terror Queen. That's the other thing. Terra Cruentis is not on this map anymore.
Yeah, and maybe she'll be moved to a scare zone.
That's what we're thinking. Possibly a scare zone, maybe in this house as well as one of the icons, maybe both. It'd be good if she had, I'm just thinking the way that they might be doing scare zones, maybe they do that same setup so that there's a show.
I think she'd lend herself very well to that. Maybe she was, maybe she could predict the future of the Terror Queen. That way. Yeah, that's the reason we're so adamant she's going to be here, because way back when in Horror Nights 15, part of the Terror Queen story was that she'll return in 15 years' time. So yeah, if they stick to the folklore, it should come back.
And she's also a big fan favourite, so for that reason as well, I see her coming back.
Yeah, it's going to be neck and neck between those two houses, and which one's going to be best, right?
I know. If they're both going to be there, so exciting.
Yeah, I might have to send news to Donald Trump to try and get me back in the country.
No, please open the border.
Please open the border. Another addition to this map is a house called MANNEQUIN Theatre, and I don't even know where to start with this one.
Mannequin and in a theatre. A mannequin in a theatre.
Yeah.
Mannequins are creepy, to be fair.
Mannequins are creepy. I know they're not mannequins, but it makes me think about the nurses in Silent Hill. There's just like rows of them and they all start walking towards you. That'd be well creepy.
That would be creepy. Oh, They could well do that. That'd work. And they could do that thing where one of them's a scare actor, the rest of them aren't, so you're walking through and there's just, you don't know which one's going to move. I
remember a scene in Slaughter Cinema where there was a bunch of monks all facing away from you, and one of them was real, and you had to walk through the middle of all of them. Oh.
We did it with Jack in the 25 years of Monsters and Mayhem as well. It's a room of clowns.
Yeah. Oh.
Anything like that really works. Yeah, because you expect someone's going to move, but who?
Yeah, it could be. I've never seen a mannequin as a concept, as a horror concept.
The only thing I have, and it's more sci-fi than horror, they had a mannequins come to life in Doctor Who in an episode I remember. I don't know exactly what it was, but that's the closest thing I can think of. And I never looked at a mannequin the
Doctor
same
Who
way.
house?
Well, they said that it was similar to that in Depths of Fear.
Oh, true, they did actually, yeah. Whatever they're gonna put out there, I'm sure it's going to be good. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't know where to begin with it. I imagine they'll start to do a bit of a background, well, hopefully, so that we know a little bit more about it. But we'll see on that one. If you got any ideas what it might be, comment below. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. If you guys had a house which was titled Mannequin Theatre, and you were asked to create a house around it, what would you put in there? Yeah,
Mannequins.
Because mannequins. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I don't know what they can do, but their brilliant brains, I'm sure, will come up with something amazing. The next one that we've seen, we touched on this last week, is a Billie Eilish house. So that's one that I know has split people down the middle. I've not really seen many other music videos, but other people say that they're quite creepy, so I'm sure they could work with that. We'll have to have a bit more of a listen and watch for her songs and videos just to see what sort of images we can expect to see.
She's just going to whisper in your ear, isn't she? There's going to be a scare where she just goes, duh. Right, here's a good cast.
It's gone a bit back and forth now with this Billie Eilish house. It was meant to be there, and then it was going to be a lagoon show, then it could have been a scare zone, then she was going to be the music to the Universal Monsters Bride's house, and now we're back to the start again, where it is rumoured she will be she's not going to be a house. The music and imagery of Billie Eilish
It's just going to be Billie Eilish with house. Hopefully her videos have a lot of, like, if not horror, at least slightly gothic themes to them. Just so they can do something with it, man.
They'll do something great, and I know they will. We said this last time. They wouldn't have picked that if they don't think they can do something with it. So they've obviously got some good ideas, some strong ideas there. Yeah,
maybe we'll end up watching the music videos and we're just going to be like, oh, well, obviously this is going to be a great house. Yeah. Because we've not seen the music videos.
Yeah, without actually seeing what they create, I don't feel like we can judge it fairly until we've actually been through it. So if this does happen, if it is true, a true rumour, then we'll let you know what it's like.
Yeah.
So the next addition to the map, the volume 3, is we see they've actually added a scare zone in now. So before it was completely blank. We've not really heard anything mentioned about scare zones so far. It was almost thinking, will there be any this year? But now they've mentioned Creep Show as the rumour. So Creep Show may be our first scare zone.
Yeah, classic 80s horror film. I'm ashamed to say I've not seen yet. I do know that they had this as a house in Hollywood last year, and it was very well received.
Yeah, it went down well.
Yeah, but yeah, there's plenty of zombies and plenty of monsters. It's kind of like an anthology of 5 different stories.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll watch it and then we'll know a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it is going to be a really cool scare zone. Because they've kind of done Creepshow before and they know what works well and what doesn't work well.
That's true.
Over in Hollywood, so yeah, I'm very excited for Creepshow.
Me too. So the one other minor change to the map, as we've mentioned a little bit earlier on in this video, is that there's no more music by Billie Eilish in the Universal Monsters bride's house, because she's rumoured to have her own house now. So that's the only difference for that one.
I don't think it changes much. I think to be honest, I think the Billie Eilish music in Universal Monsters the Bride's house would have, like, that was a perfect way to incorporate a music artist into the event.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they've done stuff like that previously, like they've had the music of Slash and I think Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath.
Just to, obviously, new houses come on this list, so houses must fall off the list, and there has been Legendary Truth, Kerry O'Hare, which has dropped off, and the Dungeon of Terror as well.
Possibility in my mind, if it's going the way we think it will, that the Dungeon of Terror would be featured in the anniversary house. But again, that's just our own thinkings of how that house may go.
Yeah, and the rest of the houses on this list are kind of houses that we've already gone over before in a previous video. We will cover them very briefly here, but if you do want to see kind of a more in-depth discussion of the houses that are left to talk about, we will link that video in the description down below, right? And
yeah, I'll put the link down below so you can have a bit of a catch-up where we're up to so far. Yeah,
cool. So we'll just very briefly go over the houses. One that I'm personally most excited about is The Haunting of Hill House.
Mm-hmm.
We've watched that series twice. It's only been one series that's come out, and we've watched it twice, and we loved it both times that we watched it.
Yeah, it's a brilliant show.
Yeah, and obviously set in a massive haunted house, so lent itself very well to a Horror Nights maze, if you ask me.
No, I totally agree.
Cool. And we've got Beetlejuice, which I'll hand over the floor to you.
Yeah, so Beetlejuice is one that I'd heard rumoured, wasn't sure if it would be picked up or not, but that one has remained on the map, and I'm so excited for that one. It's going to be one of the fun houses, but it'll still have some scares.
We've got Bedtime Stories as well, which is, we kind of thought that could go one of 2 ways. One could be, which actually, to be fair, I think is less likely now, which could be a house dedicated to the storyteller.
That's true, now that we've got our icon house.
Yeah. So I think that could now be kind of a much like what we think the anniversary house is going to be, where it's kind of an anthology of different legendary bedtime tales.
Oh, I've heard it might be the Tooth Fairy house that was dropped from last year.
Oh, really?
I've heard a few different rumours it might be something like that.
Oh, cool. That sounds pretty good.
Hmm?
So I think it is more likely now that it is going to be kind of an anthology of different Laura's just seen a sausage dog running past the window and got distracted. I mean, so that kind of lends itself very nicely to that idea of the walking through different bedtime stories then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as with every house on this list, I'm very excited to see that one as well. Yeah.
And then we got the Pumpkin Original, which could be a take on sort of the Twisted Tradition scare zone. Lots of pumpkins, or possibly Nathaniel Crowe. Again, don't know if he'd be put into an icon house, but he was never an icon.
No, he was dropped, wasn't he?
It just never came to light. So he might still, that rumour might still be true, but only time will tell.
Yeah.
What this pumpkin house will hold.
Yeah, and I think we'll round it off there, guys. If you do kind of have any opinions on this map whatsoever, we'd love to hear them, because I was like sparking discussion on what is our favourite event that we go to every single year. Yeah,
let us know your thoughts on it. Is there any that you wish wouldn't have changed from the previous speculation map? Is there anything that you'd like to see there that's not been added? Let us know what your favourites are on the list as well.
Yeah, and I'm especially eager to hear about any thoughts that you have on the Mannequin Theatre House, because
yeah, definitely.
I'm drawing a blank when it comes to any sort of direction that one could go. So yeah, definitely share your thoughts on that.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for our future videos.
Yeah, and we'll be uploading another video next week. Cheers, guys.
Thanks very much. Bye.